Just out here working on my golf. What we got going on is the, it's got a 2-liter out of a 94 Golf, and it's been turboed, Mark IV intake manifold, digifant 1, but it's running the ostrich, and so you can do some tuning. Very limited, but can do a little bit. Turbo VF52 from Subaru. The problem we've been having is anything above like 5 or 6 pounds of boost, it starts to misfire. You don't want misfires while you're driving around trying to boost it and everything. So this coil is used. It's got the wrecking yard paint on there. It's also been modified to make the tack work, because the tack in the cluster that I have has to be ran off one side of the coil, and the digifant 1 runs off the other side, so the wiring wouldn't work. That's the boost controller, by the way. So I just put on a watt box too, so I need to heat shrink these still. So I'll do that. But that way I can have 2-step with the watt box. Took me a while to figure out how to get the tack to work after I swapped the ECU on that thing. But it does work, or it did. Hopefully with this new coil it'll be the same, which it should be. But this one's so old, it's got cracks through it, and it's got a date stamped on there, 2 of 96. So this coil did its time. All right, so that just popped right off. And I'm gonna do this a little bit better than I did last time. This is never a sealed cap anyway. You can see there's already a hole there, so. Get that. Well, it's probably not the best technique of soldering, but it actually went on there, so. Slightly better than it was. At least you don't have these exposed bars right there. And I'm just realizing right now that the way I wired this, I ran the wires, there's no way you're getting this harness out without cutting these wires. The whole harness needs to be replaced anyway because it's so old. The Corrado was a 1990 that they were selling the parts out of. But I didn't quite realize that it was California emissions. Like, got it all. But I was still able to get it working. Figure it's gonna need a whole aftermarket ECU anyway, like a Haltac or something. Or maybe make a squirt, I don't know. Because it's got a lot of weird quirks the way it runs. Volkswagen things, you know. Man, these heat shrink things take a lot of heat. Well, we're both in first. Looks okay. And this is super hokey because the ECU emulator that I've got in there, the ostrich, for some reason will not power up off of the ECU itself. So I got this power bank here. All right, it runs. All right, let's test the two-step. Tach works. I'm sure that's great for a cold motor. Oh, you know what? It's got a vacuum leak. Oh yeah. Not sure how that happened. I'm sure that wasn't helping it run very good. All right, so I need to address that, but it runs and tech works. Two-step works. It's a little bit high. I was hoping it would be more like 3,500, 4,000, not 5,000. But see if I can find a little cap for that vacuum deal. Okay, so I got that and a zip tie. Start it up, see what happens. All right, see what happens. Okay, so I did not like that. So I figured it out. The down here, this is the software for that watt box, by the way. This, I had the RPM signal wrong, so it wasn't showing any sort of RPM when you would get this vehicle snapshot. It would just show 0. It doesn't do live data for this, for the launch control, but start it up. Okay. And then, so right now the clutch is down. Quick read. And you can see right here, down. Lift the clutch up. Yeah, so right there. For some reason the RPM's not reading right. And it's funny because the tach drops out because the tach is hooked up to the coil. So when the launch control kicks in, the tach drops down to 0. It's interesting. Now watch this. So it does work. And it makes cool popping sounds. I'm not going to do that anymore because I don't want my neighbors to get mad, but let's see if it made any boost. Nope. Nope, no boost. But that's okay. Anyway, next thing will be giving it a test drive on the road.